Having body image concerns is a relatively common experience and is not a mental health issue or problem in and of itself. However, it can be a risk factor for many mental health problems. If you've suffered from anxiety, depression, shame, or self-consciousness due to your weight or appearance, or feeling like somehow you just don't belong, pay attention. This video is absolutely for you. I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how to help cope with that and maybe help you understand that you are not alone. Join me now. Watch. So this body reflection thing that I started doing, and I just got further and further slipped into. I've gotten worse. However, I've really understood I have to get worse to get better, because that's the only way for me to heal on the levels I've needed to. I look back at my videos and I can see this obsessiveness, talking to myself the way I was and what I was seeing in the mirror at that time. And then when I look back and go, wow, I can understand how sick I was, or what I was saying to not, like, and where does that come from? Okay, well then the self-talk. So last night I spent the whole day yesterday eating, binging, purging. Probably the worst I've been, because I haven't had an issue with bulimia, or I actually don't. I have in my lifetime, and it probably was the worst it's been in so long, but I understand where that's coming from and where this has built up. So the change, right? Like this self-sabotage, right? That's the issue at the core. So I'm having to redo, like, I'm still a student of my own programs. I can confidently say I did everything possible to seek help from outside sources in every possible way, and they failed me and became the danger. That's why I'm the way I am, and that's why I'm having to dig down as deep as I possibly can. If I'm serious about healing, the only person that I can heal or that can change my life is me. Well, I only have a certain amount of skills, right? That's where I have to be patient on to understand. And that's also like this point, I guess, I'm making in PTSD with anything, right? So for me, the traumas and where that links to, but food is, everybody has to eat, okay, but not everybody's an addict to food. But if we were to take away a lot of people's abilities to have the food, it becomes such a comfort, or the things, or the impact, I bet you a lot of people would spin out. But the core of all addictions is low self-worth. Mine so happens to be the food thing. The purging part came from the fact that I probably ate upwards of about 20,000 calories or so, because I'm in a place where there's things that wouldn't be normally ready, like I restrict myself from, that wouldn't be in the household. But the point to myself is, if it's still here, and this is what I've been saying, if it's there and it's in your presence and you can't control it, okay, well, the issue, and this would be the metaphor to anything, is you haven't dealt with the root or the core of the problem. Now, for an addict of any type, especially if they had a drug addiction or an alcohol, okay, well, as you're working through it, you don't want that in your presence. The thing with food, now you bring in family, circumstances, you can't control other circumstances or other people. How do you get that around? Or same thing, I guess, in theory, you could go out with somebody, they're having a drink, okay, well, does that trigger you? Well, and that we get into that, but I'm not right for food in itself, right? You can't, and it's generally a lot of times the mother has an issue and then controls the household with food or whatever else. Sometimes it's the father, but that is kind of the point. So I'm working through. So the things I'm going to work through as I'm here, because it's been leading, it's the symptoms, it's the physical symptoms and the things left from that. So my head is so foggy. I'm in so much pain. The dialogue always goes to my weight and my appearance, which always links to my self-worth. That is a problem. And you said always, that's why I'm this ill with my addiction, because it's such an obsession. That's the disorder, but it's because I'm magnifying to trying to fixate on where it comes from, and those food triggers link me two parts of my past, which are linked to those emotions, which for myself, I hadn't had a memory before February of 2020. So all these traumas, well, the big parts of my life that were left blank. And right now, a big part of this, right, has to be of the house I'm in, what that means, blah, 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 and the significance of that. Because a lot of memories are flooding back and trauma comes back in a reaction. What's that reaction? Well, it takes me back to a very dark place that I'm just having the dialogue to understand, and then I start talking to even the food and the conversations with that. I lost control. But I think that's the whole point, is that I can't control the fact that I lost control. I have to question and then understand and forgive myself, and then not shame myself in the first place, because where does that shame come from? Well, now I got voices in my head of really other people telling me that I'm not good enough because of my weight. Suck in your belly. This is what you have to be. This is what you have to look like. Or of what I can and can't have. But there's nobody left to blame but me putting that food in my mouth right now. So I'm working through that.